What's up with it, y'all? Polo Sports Talking ENT here again with another one. I'm gonna just go ahead and hit um, you just get right into this, okay? And hit the like, hit the sub, and I'm gonna skip all the intros and everything. Look, man, this could have happened to anybody right here. And for those of y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, I'm speaking in reference to 16-year-old Imani Bell, okay? And uh, she was killed. Well, she died from a heat stroke, because she was outside working out, um, and this happened in Georgia, and she was doing a combination of jumper jacks, going around the football field, jogging up a flight of stairs, and this was in the 97-degree heat. Now, to me, I'm not trying to uh, under undermine this by any means. I'm not trying to downplay this by any means, but I have worked out in weather that was hotter than that. But that goes stated that everybody's body is different. Everybody's body can only handle so much. Okay. Um, you know, she was running up the stairs, and then she leaned onto the handrail and fell in. Okay, and uh, she had she had suffered a heart attack due to extreme temperature, and it left her with hypothermia and rhabdomyolysis, uh, and that's the breakdown of muscle tissues. Uh, and nearly 2 years after her death, the basketball coaches who oversaw the practice session have been charged with murder and cruelty to children, involuntary manslaughter, and reckless conduct. Okay. Now, I know that this happened, a while back, but they're facing the murder charges. Now, my question is this: does everybody agree with this? Because this has happened on a lot of occasions. This isn't anything new. Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna also say this. Okay, the coaches the coaches have a responsibility over the children, and it reminds me of a time when I was in high school. Anytime like a coach got any type of indication that, at least my coach, anytime they got like any type of indication that you were feeling, not yourself, or you were complaining about your body internally or something like that, they didn't play with that. But at the same token, a lot of these kids are doing everything that they can out there. They're leaving it all out, literally all out on the field or all out on the court or whatnot. And my thing is this too. Uh, you do have parents out there that know that their child has a condition or can't handle certain amounts of stress, or they shouldn't be going through this, or going through that, but they still let them go out there and compete anyways. Um, I still went out there and I competed despite me having asthma back in the days. And I put the link in case anybody wants to come in and voice their thoughts on it. And if not, then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna close it up because got some other stuff to do or whatnot. But I really feel like this could have went either way, because the other team, everybody else that was running, they seem to be doing fine. Now, this is kind of we have to approach this situation just like I approach every situation, with the double-edged sword. Okay. Now, we used to run out in the hot sun in the off season, you know, for for um, for our off season training and everything, and it consisted of us jogging out in the heat. The football players um, would be out there, and the basketball players would be, jogging during their little off season uh, thing when the season had ended or whatnot. Um, it's a sad situation. It's a real sad situation. And do I feel like justice was served? Yeah, justice was served, but I'm quite sure that the coaches really didn't, for being from the bottom of their heart, they probably did not mean for this to take place. They probably did not mean for this to take place. They probably uh, just wanted to bring the best out of their players. Now, you do have some coaches out there that really, uh, they really don't. They could care less about that child's health or that player's health or whatnot, and they're in it for themselves. They're in it just to keep their job or whatnot. Um, but 16 years old, that's a baby. You know what I'm saying? That's a baby, and in some people's eyes, um, especially the younger generation, they feel like, okay, well, she was old enough to feel how she was. No, she wasn't, because when you got to think about it, man. When you 15 and when you 16 years old, do you don't have that. Your whole mindset is to make the team, is to do what's necessary so that you could get that scholarship, to do what's necessary so that you could get to the next level, to to help your mom out, to help your struggling family out. You know, you're depending on the coach, the school, and the alumni, the boosters, all of that. You're you're dependent on them to be your meal ticket. And so these these kids that are out there, they're competing hard and they're going hard as they can just so that they can make that roster spot. And it's just unfortunate that some of these kids, they have underlying issues that are not addressed. They're not addressed. Uh, Do I think that they uh, should get like the death penalty or something like that? Because the two coaches were Dwight Palmer, Dwight Palmer, and LaRosa Walker Askew. Okay, um, you know, this is a situation where some people were probably glad that this took place, but then you have other people that were like, well, they probably didn't deserve what they got to be charged and everything. Now it's going to be very hard for them to get a job, uh, much less if they get out. Now I know that the father of Monty Bell, he was happy. He felt like justice was served. Okay, um, because he was happy about the second degree murder charges that were filed against the two coaches. He said he was happy about it. You know, I see that right there. It, some people will probably look at that and they'll be like, man, well, it's kind of like you wanted them to fail or something like that. You got to look at this in two different ways. I feel bad for the poor girl that she's no longer here with us. To be the young, tender, ripe age of 16, wasn't even living life yet. You haven't even got nowhere near to scratch the surface of what life was about. And to lose her life like that. However, in the same instance, I don't think that the coaches, I don't think that the coaches really truly, meant no harm like that. But at the same token, they do have a responsibility. So whenever you training somebody, whenever you coaching somebody and everything, you have to do. That's why it's very important that you do consultations and you do a assessment and you also do physicals to to find out, okay, where that person is, where they stand at, how much they can or can't handle. That's why, like, in basketball, especially with basketball, they do conditioning. I know the first, like, I would say, like, the first, like, 2 to 3 weeks when we were practicing in high school every year, we didn't touch the ball. And I'm talking about when we got in the mode of basketball season. We didn't touch the ball because it was all about conditioning. It was all about how all the players look in terms of their physical conditioning, and that's what he did. We were run, we were running more. We were running and doing defensive drills and stuff. We rarely. The only time we touched the ball was when we warmed up before it was time to get out there, and he would tell us to put the balls up, and that was for the first like couple weeks. Then we would get into the mode of actually, playing. It, I think it's good to do that because then a coach can judge. Okay, because sometimes you really can't tell. you, it's just like the situation that happened with Hank Gathers that when because I was talking about the situation that had taken place with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it was with LaMarcus Aldridge, and then I touched on Hank Gathers, and then I touched on Reggie Lewis, and then I also touched on Chris Bosh. Now, the situation was a little bit different, but nevertheless, uh, it still involved a heart attack. It still involved the heart, uh, and it still involved a player dying during the workout. It wasn't even during the game. This was during the workout. And Omar, you said this is sad. I can't believe this. You know, I'm not surprised by it. What I am, I guess you could say, is caught off guard. Is that some of these people would think that these coaches were ruthless and everything like that, but that's of the norm. What they were doing was of the norm. Now, if if a coach was to have their team running with the cross country team, running with the people who run cross country, then he had you come in there and do some more working out and everything like that. Then you have a problem. Then you have a problem. But what the coaches were doing, to be honest with you, they had no control over it. They had control over what was the type of work that was being put out there, but now we don't know the amount of stuff that they were doing, each reps and all of that. But from what the drills that I see on there, those were similar to what we used to do. Running stairs and all of that. That was common. Stadium stairs and stuff. That was common. That was common. Um, but I mean, this is a sad situation, man. But some people did feel like justice was served. Some people did feel that she, and I'm included in this, she was young. You know, it's just like the situation that happened with Corey Stringer. I was talking to one of my friends about Corey Stringer, the NFL football player, and he passed away. He passed away in in practice. So everybody's body is not the same. Everybody's body cannot handle certain types of stress, uh, certain types of heat. Some people like myself, I love humidity and heat at the same time. Is it hard? Does it make me sweat? Yeah. But there's a lot of people that can't handle that. That they can handle probably heat as it pertains to the wind blowing with the heat and having a breeze and stuff. And then there's some people that have to have the air really, really sticky. It's sticky and it's hot, and I like it because to me, believe it or not, it's healthy because humidity humidity is good for your skin and your nails, and then of course the sun, that's vitamin D. The sun is good for you. The sun is good for you. So those people that tell you, "Oh, stay out the sun," oh, sorry about that. Those people that tell you to stay out the sun and all that other stuff, man, don't listen to that shit. Don't listen to that. Well, you know, something can happen to you. No, the sun is absolutely great for you. The sun, the sun is what's gonna boost your immune system. A lot of people don't know that. Sun will boost your immune system because it is vitamin D. You know, but justice was served. But it's not gonna bring her back. It's not gonna bring her back. But when they get, you know, whenever they get out, or if they get out, or whatever, they're they're not gonna find a job. They're not gonna be able to find a job. Their reputation has been shot because of this. Now, some people might take a different way. Some people could probably, you know, care less about what took place. But I know, as for me, this is a sad situation. And look, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm on the parent side or anything like that. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. What I am telling you though is that these these coaches right here, they were they were doing their job the best to the best of their abilities. Like I talked about Coach Carter the other day too. See, Coach Carter was making people do like some outrageous number of suicides and was making guys do like 1,000 push-ups and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they were messing up academically, or they weren't playing that hard in practice or whatnot. It happens like that, man, but it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. And to lose our youth like that, it's really precious, man. My heart goes out to the family. Um, I thank you for liking this video. Share it. Also, subscribe if you're not a member to the channel. Till then, it's Polo Sports Talking ENT. I will holler at y'all.